Hi everybody, it's Peter Schiff. This is Friday, May 20th, 2011. Anyway, I wanted to take an opportunity to warn viewers of this video blog about a penny stock pump and dump scam that is circulating online. In fact, I received the scam in my inbox on Wednesday. And for those of you who don't know what a pump and dump is, that's basically when an individual or an entity that is trying to unload stock is trying to pump up the stock. In other words, trying to find buyers, trying to generate interest in the stock so that they can sell. Generally, they want to try to push the price up and then sell into the rally. And it works best with very illiquid stocks, generally low-price stocks. And that's what's going on. And this pump and dump scam is being circulated by an organization called the National Inflation Association, or NIA. Now, in general, the NIA puts out a lot of videos, they send a lot of emails exposing the dangers of inflation, talking a lot, writing a lot about hyperinflation or the potential of hyperinflation. Now, much of their rhetoric I agree with. In fact, much of it I said. In fact, it comes from me. A lot of times I will do a video blog, I'll do my radio show or write a commentary, and then a day or two later in my inbox I see all of my words repeated back to me by the National Inflation Association. They'll quote me word for word. Of course, they don't quote me at all. They just use my words without attributing to me, which I guess you would call plagiarism. But I don't really care. I mean, I like the idea that the things that I'm saying are being spread by more people than just me. I think it's important that what I say gets out there. But what I don't like is when my words are used to defraud people. You know, the National Inflation Association is claiming to try to help protect people from being wiped out by inflation. Well, who's going to protect them from being wiped out by the National Inflation Association? Because that's what's happening. That's what's going to happen to people who fall for these pump and dump scams like the one that they're perpetuating now. I think the main reason that the NIA is out there collecting a database and doing these videos is so they have a bigger audience with which to disseminate the pump and dump material. In fact, they just put out a piece on education, college conspiracy, again, which a lot of it I agree with. It contains much of the things that I've been saying and writing for years, again, without attributing any of it to me. And if anybody's seen this, you'll recognize, verbatim things that I've said in the past. But over 300,000 people have viewed this. I don't think it's a coincidence that within 3 days of this major release that they came out with this pump and dump scam. They wanted to put the video out first. They knew it would be popular. They knew a lot of people would then sign up to be NIA members. And once they had their email address, they had a bigger pool of people with which to send out this pump and dump scam. Now, the stock that they are pumping, and obviously somebody is dumping, is called Mega Precious Metals. And it trades on the Toronto Ventures Exchange. MGP is the symbol. It also trades in the pink sheets here at the U.S. Now, on the Wednesday when their piece came out, the stock was at a 52-week low of 34 cents a share. It had dropped by about 70% from its peak price in December of 2010. Now, Mega Precious Metals is an exploration company. It is a penny stock, a junior company. They're a dime a dozen. They are looking for gold. They don't produce any gold. They don't have any gold. They're trying to find it. And of course, when you're in the gold exploration business, it's very expensive because you're burning cash. You're not generating any revenues because you have nothing to sell. You're spending money. Now, first of all, NIA, when they send out their pump and dump piece, they have a disclaimer. Although, in order to see the disclaimer, it's not actually on the email. You have to click a link to get to it. And I'm going to read just a small part of that disclaimer. Here's what it says, quote, Inflation.us, which is their website, does not guarantee the accuracy and completeness of statements made regarding stocks discussed in emails. Okay, so in other words, they're telling you that what they're saying may not be accurate or complete. Well, that's an understatement. Then they go on, investors should not rely on the information given by Inflation USA to make an investment decision. Well, then why are they sending it out? They obviously want people to rely on this information, or they wouldn't be emailing out their recommendation. But in any event, that is buried in their disclaimer. They think that this protects them. I don't think you can disclaim your way out of fraud, and I think there is a lot of fraud. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but in my opinion, I think that this email amounts to fraud, and I think anybody that fell for this pump and dump and bought this stock, I think they have a good lawsuit if they want to pursue one. But anyway, let's go on to the email itself, and I'm going to read what they wrote. And the symbol is MGP, so they refer to the stock often throughout their pump and dump piece as MGP. And let me read what they wrote. MGP's Monument Bay property has an inferred resource of 1,212,000 ounces of gold. If you subtract MGP's estimate 10 million in cash from its current market cap of 27.49 million, the market is valuing MGP's 1.2 million ounce gold resource at only $14.43 per ounce. Gold is currently trading at 1,483 an ounce. Now, if a layperson might not understand what's going on here, they didn't say initially that they had any gold. They said they had inferred resources. Inferred resources doesn't mean they have anything. They might not have any gold. Now, later on, when they referred to it again, they didn't say that their inferred resource. They said their gold resource is being valued at only $14.43 an ounce. Well, why should you value it at $1,400 an ounce when we don't even know if they have any gold? The fact of the matter is, inferred resources doesn't mean anything, and NIA knows it. There are 5 categories of resources, right? The lowest is inferred. Above inferred is indicated. Above indicated is measured. Above measured is probable. And above probable is proven. Now, in this pump and dump piece, they actually state that they said, quote, this means that MPG's NI 43-101 compliant gold resource base is being valued at less than 1/100th of the price of gold. Well, of course it is, because it doesn't mean they have any gold, and they have to know it. NI stands for the, National Instrument. All right, and I'm going to read from you the definition that the National Instrument uses for a 43-101 compliance. Here's the definition. Here's what they write about inferred resources. Quote, due to the uncertainty that may be attached to inferred mineral resources, it cannot be assumed that all or any part of an inferred mineral resource will be upgraded to an indicated or measured mineral resource as a result of continued exploration. Confidence in the estimate is insufficient to allow the meaningful application of technical and economic parameters or to enable an evaluation of economic viability worthy of public disclosure. Inferred mineral resources must be excluded from estimates forming the basis of feasibility or other economic studies. In other words, they're meaningless. Yet NIA is touting this company based on the value of its inferred resources when you don't know if there is any value there. That is the crime. And in fact, right after they discuss these inferred resources, they go and compare the company to Goldcorp, which is a major gold producer. These two companies have absolutely nothing in common, and to juxtapose them to one another is again an attempt to create the false impression that what they have in their inferred resources is anywhere near comparable to what Goldcorp has in their proven resources that they are developing. Let me read a little bit more about what they say about the company. They say MGP's current share price is less than half of where major investors invested $11.5 million into the company only 3 months ago. That's true. 3 months ago, they did a private placement at 80 cents, and the stock was at 34 cents on Wednesday before this piece hit the emails. Now, they say major investors. I doubt there were any major investors in this private placement. They were probably retail investors that probably, hopefully, knew the speculative nature of what they were getting involved with, that this was a highly speculative exploration company where there was a high probability that 100% of the investment would be lost. There is nothing in this email from the National Inflation Association that discusses at all just how speculative this investment is, how high the probability is that this company is completely worthless. In fact, it's the opposite. Let me continue. They write, to the best of our knowledge, nothing negative has happened to the company since then. Well, that's probably true because there was nothing positive about the company in the first place. Quote, the stock has slowly drifted downward on very low volume, averaging only 75,687 shares per day. We believe MGP is an undervalued, undiscovered gem with astronomical upside potential once the investment community discovers it. The investment community is never going to discover it because there's nothing to discover because they have nothing. The reason the stock is so cheap is because they don't have any gold. Now, is it possible that they can discover something? Well, sure, anything is possible, but it's not probable. They are trying to create the false impression that this is a valuable company with huge gold reserves that Wall Street doesn't know about, and they do. And that they happen to be telling you about it, and you can get in early before Wall Street figures out that there's this undiscovered gem that the National Inflation Association has happened to uncover. The truth is, they didn't uncover anything. I think part of the biggest fraud about this is that I'm sure that they were paid to write this piece. And they don't disclose that. So I don't know for sure that they were paid, but I'd be willing to bet that they were. After all, why else would they put this piece out? Why would they recommend this company if they weren't paid? I mean, they can't be that dumb. And in fact, they chose their words very carefully. I think this email was deliberately crafted to create a fraudulent impression of this company and the merits of investing in this company. Now, once it came out, the stock shot up on very heavy volume. It traded like 1.5 million shares a day after this piece came out. Where did all the selling come from? Right, the stock normally does 30 to 40,000 shares a day. All of a sudden, it does 1.5 million shares. We know who bought, right? The buyers were the people who are members of the NIA who got this email and who rushed to buy the stock. Who are the sellers? Well, where'd the stock come from? I think the sellers are whoever paid NIA to do the pump and dump. I don't know if it was the company or just a major shareholder. I don't know, but there's no way they did this for free. And of course, behind the NIA is notorious penny stock pump and dumper Jonathan Lebed. If you don't know who Jonathan Lebed is, check him out on Google. Go to his Wikipedia page. He's the kid, the high school kid, who did a pump and dump stock scam in high school. And he actually was the youngest, I think he's the only minor ever charged by the SEC. He ended up settling with them by giving them $285,000 of his profits. I think he still kept about $500,000. I don't think he admitted to doing wrong. But he is a stock pump and dumper. And unfortunately, that's what I believe this National Inflation Association is all about. They use very good rhetoric. As I said, most of it comes from me. They use that to attract a lot of people that they know are predisposed to be interested in investments such as gold mining stocks. And then they hit them up with these pump and dump schemes. The fraud is that I'm sure the NIA members think that the NIA is looking out for their interests, that they're looking for good investments and bringing these opportunities to the attention of their members. The fact of the matter is their clients are the people who are paying them to pump these stocks so that they can dump them. So if you bought this stock, I feel badly. Hopefully, if you didn't buy it, you get this video in time and you don't buy it on Monday. Certainly circulate it to your friends, anybody who you think is a member of the NIA. Make sure they don't buy this stock. If you've already bought it, can you sell it? Maybe. There's probably still some bidders out there. I don't know. I wouldn't want to own this stock. Certainly, if you're just a riverboat gambler, if you're just crapshoot, shot in the dark, take a flyer, but I wouldn't want to do it. There's much better investments out there than this company. Well, my best advice is if you bought this stock, maybe contact a lawyer. Maybe a number of you can get together and do a class action because we really need to put a stop to this. I mean, nothing bothers me more than to see good people, and I'm sure there are a lot of good people who are attracted to this organization, being ripped off by the very people who claim to be looking out for their interests and trying to protect them. Now, NIA, I'm sure they're not the only stock pump and dumpers out there, but they happen to have sent one to me. And it's particularly problematic and hits home because I know a lot of my subscribers, a lot of my clients, might be getting this stuff in the mail, because I'm sure that they've watched these videos, and so I kind of feel in a way personally responsible, and I feel an obligation to come out here and say something about what I know to try to protect people in the future.